Right on. And that's everyone in the room. I'm so grateful to be here tonight. I wasn't here last week because I chose to do a training with Washington Education Association. And so Julia and Lo were gracious enough to cover for me. I appreciate it very much. We're still doing generosity this month. So I think I was going to try to just get started meditation and then do reading, but I think I'll just go into my stories. I did a 20-minute Sunday meditation last week, and I sat down, and the idea of the meditation was to do an insight meditation. I just put my focus on generosity, and just wanted to make a few quick notes on it. And I know this is our last week on generosity, right, Julia? Right on. So, and we'll have another awesome topic. But some of the things I think about generosity or Donna that I thought about during the meditation, and I just want to get some of the big ones in there. Generosity drastically increases my impact on the world in a good way. And if I go into any environment with a heart of generosity, and for me, the opposite of that would be like a heart of complaining, right? Then I have much more to offer. Generosity is also the opposite of clinging to me. I told the story about Tammy who let people in her house and they could have anything they wanted from her house. And generosity means I'm not concerned about meeting, I don't want to say needs, but meeting my desires. I'm more concerned about being interconnected with people and with what other people think. And when I am generous, I'm much better at listening to understand what other people are saying and listening to connect with other people as opposed to listening to contribute, to put in my 2 cents. And that's something I do often and something I'd like to do less. And another thing I thought about with generosity is it feels like advanced gratitude. And I don't want to use the word gratitude because I fear that for a lot of people, especially people in 12-step programs who want to get away from those and stay away from those, gratitude can be a trigger word. And triggers can be good because it makes us curious and has us look at what we want to look at. But I think even a better word for it for me is appreciation. And generosity has an appreciation to it. So appreciation feels like, I appreciate you, Lo. And I could say that to everyone in this room, right? And I appreciate the home I live in, and I appreciate the job I have. And it's a recognition to the people and all the things around me in the world that have brought these wonderful things to me. And appreciation just has a long history in Buddhism. It brings me to a state of being very mindful of all I have and how I'm interconnected with everybody. So I love stories and I love chanting. Those are my two favorite things. So I was listening to John Green, a book he wrote. It was on CD in my car. And it's called Reviewing the Anthropocene, or the Anthropocene Reviewed. And he talked about how he became a gardener. And he made this humongous garden. He studied all these books and watched all these things on gardening. And then this marmot came, this groundhog, and began to eat most of his vegetables. So he went to war, and he didn't want to kill the groundhog. He's not that sort of person. He's like us. He doesn't want to hurt it. But he also didn't want the groundhog eating all his vegetables. So he did all these different tricks, and the groundhog got around every trick he did. It's like, how can I keep this groundhog out of my wonderful, organic, well cared for vegetables? So he goes to the great library of all knowledge, YouTube, and he watches a YouTube video. And this guy goes, I've found the solution to keeping groundhogs out of my vegetables. And John Green listens to it, and he follows the advice, and it works 100%. This was the solution. John Green now grows 2 gardens. He grows a garden closer to the garage to where the groundhog comes in, and then he grows his own garden. He puts the same vegetables in the groundhog's garden as he does his own. And the groundhog comes and eats the vegetables from the garage garden and leaves his garden alone. And now he gets all his vegetables. Now, when I look at this with my spirit of complaining, I would say, why do I have to grow a second separate garden just because I don't want to kill this groundhog? Why do I have to do all this extra work just to keep this groundhog out of my garden? And then there's the spirit of appreciation. I have plenty. I can afford to share with this groundhog. Sharing with this groundhog is actually the easiest solution. The easiest solution is being generous with this groundhog. So, yeah, that is a solution. And a lot of people have come to that solution. You grow a second garden, or you kill the groundhog. And most of us don't want to do that. Too many cute groundhogs. It would be too hard. Another story very similar to this is cougars are very, very good hunters. And sometimes if you have like some male wolves who are not in the pack anymore, they don't hunt as well because there's only a few of them. And oftentimes a cougar, so they will not be harassed, will kill a smaller prey and leave it for those wolves. And it will kill another one for itself, so it can be left alone. It's nature, and there's murder and eating flesh. But it also shows that it's sometimes easier just to be generous. Here, you guys have this, and leave me alone with mine. It also shows how generosity is incredibly intelligent. If I increase my generosity and my connection with the world, then I am a more peaceful, useful, happier person. And that's all that really matters, the things that matter. My goal from, spending this time thinking about it in this month is just, I want to be generous every day. I can't remember the Tibetan monk's name, Tibetan Buddhist monk, but he said if you understand the value of generosity and all it gives and all you receive from it, then you would not want to prepare another meal without having some other food to share with people in case they show up. You would always want to be able to share because of the value. I also want to say one of my compulsive eating still plagues me, but one of my great victories is a generosity victory. It used to be if I was eating and if my wife ordered a salad and I ordered something and I had fries on my plate and she would want to reach and grab some of those fries, I would want to stick the fork through her hand because I would want to keep the fries. And I'm like, you could have got your own fries. Sometimes I even suggest, maybe you get your own fries because I don't want a whole plate of fries. I just want the salad. And I love my wife. And now when I have something, um, I knew I did not want to be that way. It's like, being when I was talking about how angry I'd be, I would not want to be that way. I knew I didn't want to be that way, and so it'd be something I'd meditate and think on. And now I'm very free with my food. Oh, you want to try this? Oh, you want some of this? And I feel no clinginess or possessiveness of it at all. I don't. I just share it, and it's gone, and I'm absolutely happy and fulfilled. Probably more fulfilled than if I'd had it all to myself. So that's an important lesson I learned in generosity. And it's also a freedom from a big chunk of my addiction, you know? That feeling that there's not enough and that it's all has to be for me, that feeling of greed and lack. And I'm glad I'm through that. So now I'm just going to do a quick, just have us do a few breaths and a little chanting. I don't think I need this. So, if you'd like, just take a comfortable position. And I'm going to do the Tara mantra when I do it. So everyone just take time to take a deep breath in slowly and release it slowly at your own pace. Again, at your own pace. One more time. Okay, we're going to chant Om Tara Tutere, Tutere, Swaha. You can join in whenever you're comfortable, or just follow along in your head, or just continue breathing. This will be followed by a few minutes of silence. I'll tell you when. Om Tara Tutare, Ture Swaha. 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 Om Tara tuta re, tu re 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 swaha. One more set of three. Om tara tuta re, tu re swaha. Om tara tuta re, tu re swaha. Om tara tuta re, tu re swaha. Take a few minutes to enjoy the silence, your breath, how your body feels against the floor, the seat of the chair. Grateful to be here and ready to wrap this up. One act of generosity I've been getting to do 3 times a day for over a week now is I have a cat who was sick and I get to give it medicine by mouth, and it's not a nice act of generosity. Every time I feel like I'm torturing the cat, and every time I feel like the cat is going to hate me for doing it because he really fights. I mean, he fights. I've gotten to where I wear like a couple coats, and we wrap him up in a towel, and he's and but no, he comes later on, and everything. It's like he knows that we have to go through this process every night. But so sometimes generosities doesn't look like Christmas. Sometimes generosity looks like putting meds into a cat. So we'll go ahead and just get ready. This will be a quick dedication of merit. May we be happy and peaceful. May we be healthy and strong. May we be safe and protected. May we live with ease. Namaste.